Hello, ladies. I am back. I wanted to talk today about why does the world hate powerful black women? And I want to talk about these three women in the caption: Megan Thee Stallion, Angel Reese, Clarissa Shields, because I feel like they all have a lot in common. And I did watch Clarissa Shields boxing match yesterday. I paid for it. Okay. And the amount of vitriol that I have seen from black women and black men, of course, other races of people, but you already know where it's coming from them. But black women, more specifically, is very concerning to me. And I really want to talk about what I feel like is taboo for black women. I feel like you cannot be a black woman that is confident. You cannot be a black woman that is outspoken. You cannot be a black woman who unapologetically knows who she is. You have to practice fake humility, being fake humble, act like you're not aware of who you are and what you are, because to be a black woman and to be secure in what you are and not like, oh my goodness, am I pretty? Am I smart? Am I talented? Is to make everyone uncomfortable. Also, when you think about Meg Thee Stallion, she messed up because she was supposed to sacrifice herself and accept being abused and shut up about it. That is what everybody expects black women to do, to always give their lives at the expense of a black man. Period. Black man, black boy. Doesn't matter if they're horrible, trash people or not. That is still supposed to happen. Black women are supposed to sacrifice themselves for black men at all costs. You're supposed to be beat. Shut up. You're supposed to be assaulted. Shut up. You're supposed to be raped. Shut up. You're supposed to be abandoned and mistreated. Shut up. You are always supposed to take it on the chin when it comes to a black man. And I think the same thing. And then I think Angel Reese, Angel Reese activated the coon chip in a lot of black men, the desire to want to almost sacrifice Angel Reese for a pat on the head from white tea women and white tea men, which is the people that you see speak the most crazy about Angel Reese are people of that caliber. And that's what I wanted to talk about: Massage Noir and why does the world hate powerful black women. Hey, how you doing, Kamisha? Okay, so let me get down here, you ladies. Hey, Brown Sugar. Hey, Miss Calandra, how y'all doing? Y'all anything to say?
Hey Trig, I really don't have an answer. I don't know why, and I'm interested to see how this conversation goes. I think all those ladies are beautiful, gorgeous, powerful in their own right. I just hate, I just think it's because black women are inherently better. They look better, in my opinion, and we just do it better. And it causes hatred because it comes off very naturally. And I really feel like black men will do anything to try to dim our light. Even people of other races will try to do things to dim our light to make us feel less than. And one thing I will say about Angel Reese is I really, really like her. I mean, she's from my city, and I like seeing somebody from my city actually come up and live a luxurious lifestyle. She has her own career. She's doing business ventures. She walked in Victoria's Secret. She has her own Barbie, and I really love it because it makes me feel like, oh my gosh, we came from the same city. I can do it too. So I'm very proud of these women for everything that they have accomplished. And it shows that little black girl, or, that young black girl, that teenage black girl growing up, that they can do it too. So I really hope they keep pushing, even though they get hate. I don't know the answers, but they're really doing their thing, and I can appreciate it. Thank you. I'll land there for now.
All right. I got you, Brown Sugar. All right, let me go over here to Calandra. You have something to say, sis? Yeah, I think the world hates the three of them for different reasons. Megan Thee Stallion, I feel like the problem in the black community, because I can't really talk about other communities, I think the calling of black men is the reason why people dislike her so much, because a lot of her reasons is because of Tory Lanez. And I feel like because black men are coddled by other women, because I don't think that black men are ever going to stop coddling each other. I feel like because they're coddled by other women, I think that's why she's disliked. I feel like typically when black men do bad things to black women, the black community has a problem when those black women decide to do something to get justice for it. I feel like that's not fair at all, because this girl was harmed. Like, and I feel like to always sympathize, but I'm not surprised though, because I feel like I've seen people, even like, I just want to say that I really hate sometimes being in this community, because I feel like black men can do some of the worst things to black women and children, and people will still find a way to sympathize them and be mad at the victims of the crime. I just don't think that's right. Like, I'm sorry, but that really bothers me, because I can think of so many situations where like black women have lost their lives, and you, or even I saw this video recently about this man. He was at custody court, and he had said that he didn't want anything to do with the children anymore, and the mom smirked. And I feel like the fact that people got in the comments and could sympathize with that man, I just feel like, and for me, it's never like the men that do it that bothers me. It's always the women, because how can you sit up there and justify a man not wanting to be bothered with his children? Like, I that just bothers me so bad. Like, I'm sorry. And I feel like even when Justin Fairfax unalived his wife, the fact that black men created lies and said, y'all don't care about mental health and this is what happened. Excuse me? Like, and to see women get on the panels and agree with it too, that just really sits with me, like, does not sit with me. And I feel like the problem is that black women are not protected. And I feel like people don't like Angel Reese because black men have low racial self-esteem, and so it's easy to dogpile on her. Because what's wrong with her being confident? She's great at basketball. Be that girl. Clarissa Shields, I don't understand why people dislike her either, but I kind of feel like it's kind of the same reason why they dislike Brene. Because women are so quick to stay with guys who do them wrong, cheat on them. And I feel like a lot of the hate that I see that Clarissa Shields get when I be on lives and I be on TikTok live is that women don't like women that they consider mess with other people men. And I feel like it's when the woman is not pretty. Like when she's not, I'm not gonna say that I'm not, okay, let me reframe that. I'm not saying that Clarissa Shields is not pretty, but I'm saying is that if society, like for example, how Brene is dogpiled on, right, for Tim. Now, yeah, she was wrong, Brene was wrong. I'm not saying that she wasn't, but how all of these women attack that woman is just insane to me. And I feel like when you're not traditionally, I don't want to say this about these women, but I'm saying, like, I'm gonna stop talking. I think I understand what you're saying. I think I've seen it as well. I think, like, this is just my opinion, right? I think if Clarissa Shields was biracial and she had quote unquote good hair and green eyes, nobody would be saying how annoying she is, how she's about my man, my man, my man, how she stole Papoose or whatever. But not stole Papoose because Remy was already out with somebody else. But I don't think that she would get any of the pushback that she's talking that we're talking about. But I do think that because Clarissa Shields is racially unambiguous with a broad nose and darker complected, that's the problem. But I do think that Clarissa Shields is an attractive woman. I do. However, I do understand in what lens you're talking about. I do. Go ahead, Brown Sugar.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, do you think that if Clarissa looked like a Bernice Burgos or a dark skinned IG babe, do you think that she would be getting the same flack as well?
I don't think so. Because when you think about Bernice Burgos, She was out there running around with T.I., and T.I. was married to Tiny still, just like he married to Tiny right now. Just did that whole fake renewal or whatever. And I don't see anybody under her comment sections talking crazy to her. I don't even remember when everything was going on, people really talking crazy to her. I remember them being on the Shade Room, and it was like a couple of, like, you know what I'm saying, people that were saying stuff about it, people that liked Tiny, like, you know, people that were like really fans of Tiny, but nobody was saying nothing to Bernice. They just was like, she bad, she beautiful. So this should be expected. And that's what I think is going on with Claressa Shields. I do think that if she looked different, nobody would say nothing. And I just like Calandra was saying, I do think that Claressa Shields is an attractive woman. Oh, just 1 second, y'all.
Want to clarify that I wasn't saying that she wasn't attractive, but I do think that some women are dog piled on if they're known to, like, sometimes maybe like because past people are still legally married, like kind of how they did Brene. If women don't feel like you're the type, like for example, Portia is not talked about for stealing Simon. If women don't feel like you're the type of woman that could take their man, I think that's why some women get dog piled on.
No, I definitely understood what you're saying. I think that based on society standards, I'm not saying that she's unattractive. I really think that she's beautiful too. But based on society standards, she wouldn't be an attractive woman. So even when it comes to Brene, you think of Akira being a biracial girl, even though I don't think that she's like the most, I don't, let me shut up. But I'm not saying like she's not ugly or anything, but she's not like, oh my gosh, this girl drop dead gorgeous. It's like, how are you, Brene? How are you able to pull him? And you know what I'm saying? Like it's very weird. And I feel like it shouldn't matter what the woman looks like of how she can steal your man or, but I feel like in some people's minds, if the woman is bad enough, her body is good enough, it makes sense. Okay, you have the capability to steal someone else's man. But if you are unattractive by society standards, you don't have any right to steal anybody's man. Is that what you were kind of like leading to, sis?
Yes, that's what I was saying. Because I feel like, yeah, that's what I was saying. I think that both Brene and Clarissa are pretty. I do want to say that, but that is what I was saying. Portia, yep, she did get away with stealing Simon.
You know what? And you know what? When it comes to Portia, I think the same thing applies like it did to Bernice Burgos. When you look a certain way, which we can all admit or address that Portia is a beautiful woman. It's to be expected. Yeah, she look good. So she's society standards of beauty. So yeah, she should be these men should be wanting that or whatever. And I think that's something that Black women aren't ready to admit, how anti-Black the majority of Black women are, how anti-Black women, how much they are misogynist themselves. Because Black women have been beaten down, racially unambiguous Black women for decades. And me personally, I'm older millennial. The oldest millennial, I think. I remember when Usher married Tamika Foster, and Black women drugged that lady for filth. Oh, why is Usher with her? Look at her. She Black. She could be so much prettier. Why he marrying her? Instead of Black women being like, hey, Usher likes Black women. Look at him with this dark-skinned, racially unambiguous Black woman he wants to marry and be with or whatever. Black women was dragging Tamika Foster all the time. I remember Usher was even talking about it in interviews. He went on 106 and Park and talked about it. It had his ring on and was spinning in, was talking about all of this flack that he's getting, saying that he thinks that his fans wanted him to be with a supermodel. It was crazy. Crazy. And it's a lot of dark-skinned black women that put down other dark-skinned black women as being ugly or unattractive and undeserving of nothing. And I don't think black women are ready to talk about that. That's the reason why I feel that unambiguously black women, fully black women, monoracial black women will be way quicker to put a Lotto, Doja Cat, on a pedestal, or Cardi B, who's not even a black woman at all, on the pedestal, and then not give as much props to a Cash Doll, a Doechii, a Flo Milli. You know what I'm saying? And it's disgusting. Like, I find it to be absolutely disgusting, but I don't think that a lot of black women are really ready to admit that. But it's a lot of black women that worship non-black women, light-skinned women, and will quickly say that a woman that looks just like them is not deserving of nothing. And if you think that this other black woman is not deserving of nothing, I know that you have internalized that on some level, and you think you don't deserve nothing either. And that's the reason why your life look how it look. And that's really, 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 really how I feel. And I never understood the extreme hatred for Clarissa. Yeah, she's making a mistake with Papoose, in my opinion. But who in their life has never made a mistake in dating a man? I think every woman has done that on some level, maybe not to Clarissa's level, but have done it. She likes Papoose, is clearly male-centered and talking about this, that, and the third. 80% of black women are male-centered anyway. So why are y'all so mad that this lady is? Any other time I see black women everywhere talking about, listen to your man, follow your man, do this, do that, do that. That's the whole mantra of the black community. So I don't even understand why people dislike her so much. I don't know. It's not like Remy wasn't out here with a man that looked like a knockoff budget version of him, an uglier version of him. Y'all know y'all seen that man that she was with, Easy the Block Captain? Yuck. I was like, Remy, you down bad. This is who you trying to mess with? But nobody said nothing about her doing that. They had on matching outfits. But okay, go ahead, Calandra. Yeah, he is hideous.
I just wanted to say that I don't think that Clarissa Shields is that bad. I saw a video today that I was gonna send you because I wanted you to do a topic on this too. It was this light skin. I think she was black. I do think she was black. She had went on that. I don't know if y'all follow the Tonight conversation. I don't follow it, but I saw somebody react to it, and she said that she had been with this guy for 12 years. She was pregnant with her third child trigger. And he couldn't decide. They wasn't really in a relationship. They were a situationship. And so I don't think that woman, to me, kind of topped it with not that bad. Like, because she was saying, I was going to send that to you because I wanted you to do a video on that on your YouTube. But she had said that she was in a situationship and she was pregnant with her third child. And he couldn't decide if he wanted to be in a relationship with her. So I don't think Clarissa is that bad.
I did see that. That lady crazy. I just, what type of maniac would have 3 kids and never be there? You're not even their girlfriend. You weren't even in a relationship with somebody who has 3 children by somebody they're not in a relationship with. That was so insane. And I saw her follow-up video where, and I'm not a person that thinks that every woman wants to be married. I know that there are women that don't want to be married. My mom, after she divorced my dad, she said, forget that. I don't want a man no more, ever. And she kept her word. So, and she seemed very happy. I mean, I've been no contact with her for a long time, but the last time I saw her, she was flourishing, right? So I understand that there's plenty of women that don't want a husband. I do get that. But I don't think that was what I don't think that that is her, what she wants. I think she do want a husband. I just think that she just said all of that to cope because she can't get this man to do it. Because why? And why would he do it? He has sexual access to you and didn't even have to make you his girlfriend and got you to, use your womb 3 times. Like, what? Yeah, but she was crazy. Yeah, but I did see that. But let me go up here next to Miss Courtney and then Miss Kamisha.
Hey Trig, good afternoon,
Hey.
ladies. Honestly, I don't know too much about Clarissa Shields or Angel Reese because, to be honest, I don't watch sports, but I have seen them pop up on my timeline. And one thing that all 3 of these women have in common, Meg included, she's the only female rapper I even listen to, if I'm being keeping it a buck. But I remember watching a video of yours, Trig, about I think it was called the programming of Black women. And what you were mentioning earlier, if black women dragging Usher's ex-wife Tamika, that is, I honestly think it is a form of programming that monoracial black women sometimes just want to live vicariously through people of lighter skin tones that they, for whatever reason, want to pedestalize. And honestly, I just feel bad because I remember watching a video before that there was a video of children having to choose between dolls, and it was like a black doll or a white tea doll, and all of the black children chose the white tea doll, if y'all saw that. And I honestly think society has just programmed a lot of black women. It starts with us. And until you become of age, or if you stay like that your whole life, just thinking that you want to put someone else above you, it's actually linked to low IQ, because racism, colorism, it's all linked to low IQ. That's a fact. And I really just wish that some black women will wake up and know their worth, because they know they're the blueprint. You are the blueprint. Meg, Clarissa, Angel, they are all successful black women, all beautiful, but they're being drugged through the mud just for being themselves and being involved with a man at some point, knowing good and well that they're not listening to both sides of the story, and it was really the man's fault, because society uplifts the man or uplifts the other races, even though the other races will get dogged out too. But I don't understand why black women aren't supporting, some black women, not all, but some black women that look like them are not being as supportive to those that look like them, because they are a reflection of you. You're a reflection of them. Why are you projecting? And I just hope, if you're young, I can understand the mind, it can be impressionable and you don't know no better. But if you're a grown woman and you're still trying to uplift other races or lighter complected, and let alone being male centered, it starts with you, and you got to wake up, because it really is linked to low IQ. It definitely goes back to the ages of when we were slavery and such, and just education, and you just got to know your worth. And until you wake up, you're forever going to be trapped in your own mind. And I'll end there.
All right. I got you. Definitely understand where you're coming from, Courtney. Definitely agree with you. Hey, Gabrielle, is it still skipping? Let me know. All right, let me go next up here to Miss Kamisha. Hey, how you doing, sis?
I'm good, and you. I finally caught you on a day where you were on a live, but so like I really don't know too much about Clarissa Shield. I like I remember when my first contact with her, as far as on social media, was when her and Layla Ali were having their little back and forth or whatever. And my only issue was the lying that, Clarissa Shield, it was just on a more of a professional level. But the more I've seen her on screen and things like that, like, I've let that part go, because it's like, that's just what social media is all about, and they are in competition with each other. So yeah, my favorite is Layla Ali. It has nothing to do with her skin or anything like that. I just know that that's a powerful woman, and she represents a powerful man. But as far as Clarissa Shield, I do see the hatred that she receives online, and I still I still don't know why. Like I didn't like, the beef that she was having with Layla Ali, but that has nothing to do with her looks. That has nothing to do with any of that. And for anybody to, to degrade her in the way that they have is crazy, because she hasn't said anything. She seems like a sweet person outside of, her profession, so, and she seems like she just really want to be loved, and she really wants love. So, but I do see a lot of men who degrade her. They're always calling her a man, always calling her this and that, but then, on the other hand, they want women to be in shape. They want us to take care of ourselves. They always calling us all different names. They, we fat this, and black women are overweight. We have diabetes and all this stuff. They say those things like that, but you got somebody that's actually in shape, taking care of her body. And they still got something to say. She started wearing more makeup and looking more and more beautiful, and they got a problem with that. So it's like, I just feel like they like to project, their insecurities on black women, and I think that a lot of black women who have an issue with the way that Clarissa Shields look, and, Megan Thee Stallion, and I forgot the basketball player. I'm just getting the brain fart, but either way, Angel Reese. So I don't understand the issue when it comes down to that. And then the way that they do Angel Reese, like that woman, it's us that speak for her, and she's getting the slack or whatever for us defending her. But we were defending her blackness. We were defending her as a basketball player, and we were just defending her as a young woman. And for black men to side with the other girl, and y'all know who that is, for them to start, caping for that specific woman is crazy. But again, it's still projection. They, like the young lady said, is literally low racial self-esteem, because anytime a black man get a chance, he will tear down a black woman who is doing something great. And like Megan Thee Stallion, I haven't had a favorite rap artist in a long time. My favorite used to be Queen Latifah, and all of the old schools or whatever, and of course Missy Elliott, all of those people. Am I breaking up? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought I was breaking up. But Megan Thee Stallion, as of today, she happens to be one of my favorite rap artists. And in fact, like whenever I'm like dating a man, if I decide I want to start dating again, whenever I date a man, I tell them my favorite rap artist is, outside of Queen Latifah and everybody else, MC Light, all of them, is Megan Thee Stallion. She got flow. She can rap well. I like some of her messages. Yeah, sometimes it's a little raunchy and sexual or whatever the case may be, but we adults, right? So, like, at the end of the day, I really and truly think that there's a hatred for black women, because we live boldly, we live proudly in our skin and what we do, and they don't know how to do that. Black men just don't know how to do it. Now, I don't know if I'm wrong for saying it, as far as saying black men, but because I know people stuff get flagged and things like that. But at the end of the day, my feelings are that black men don't like these women because they're living boldly in their blackness, and they don't like to see it because they don't know how to live boldly. I just was watching a video of no, as a matter of fact, it was an experience that I had just recently. My battery went out on my car, right? And so somebody was giving me a jump. The police rolled up on us or whatever. And when the police rolled up, the black man, he just was like, he started taking off my he pretty much stopped jumping me and stopped taking off my jumper cables and everything, because the police showed up. But I stood there boldly and I asked him, I said, is it all right is because it's illegal to do, I believe. But is it all right if he jumps me? You know, like the black man, he didn't even wait. He didn't, and I understand that black men have had it hard with police, and I know I'm monologuing, but at the end of the day, they've had it hard. But as a black woman, you know, we've had it hard too with the police. Why can't black men break out of this systematic, you know, this system like black women are consistently trying to do? And I think that that's what the issue is that we live boldly and they don't know how to get out of it. And then for the other women, yes, the black women, they're male censored who have a problem with these three ladies. And I'll end there.
All right, all right. I got you. Kamisha, I mean, I think you made a lot of good points and a lot of good questions. I wish I knew the answers to it. I do. All right, let me go next up here to BB and then TC.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, why does the world hate powerful black women? I genuinely agree with what everyone was saying when I logged on, Honorable C and the person before. I think truly it has to do with the fact that black women, African American women in particular, are the world's mirror. We constantly are good people. We constantly believe in ethics, even though the world does not. Like I remember the last time I was on this live or something like this, I was talking about negrophilia, and I said that like a lot of non-black women, non-black men have negrophilia and genuinely believe that authenticity is not for black women. And it's truly evident by their behavior. In the way that they try to cosplay us, and then they always try to do that, like in every lifetime you want to cosplay us and then investigate us about our morals that you try to seek proximity to but never try to replicate in your own culture. Like I just think it's laughable. And I think genuinely, as black women, as African American women, we need to be separatists. Black men are weak. They've always been weak from the jump. From the jump, patriarchy began in Africa, conceptually. And once it hit Africa, it ruined the rest of the world. And really, truly disenfranchised us to the point where I remember hearing another black woman talk about how did patriarchy come to be really on Africa? And it really had to do with how boy moms prioritize men over the herd. Because if you understand the creation story, even that science by racist, can I say that word? Can I say racist?
I'm not quite for sure. Sometimes,
Okay, well, even by the most positivistic, meaning the most objective, quote unquote, biased individuals within academia can say that women come from Africa. Everyone comes from Africa, that we can actually reproduce ourselves, that the whole chicken and the egg philosophy has been disproven because women existed before men. It was always the chicken before it was the egg. Like XX was before XY every single time. And how it really became and why black women have such a visceral reaction to male identified women and the attack on black women is we do understand that it was us, the unity, the black womanhood that has kept the black community alive, constantly resuscitating it while we are constantly being bled to death. Can I say that? Anyways, but
yeah, I don't think you can say the D word.
Okay, to splat. Okay, and it was always the boy mom. It was always the individual who prioritized and sought jealousy in the woman that stood up for themselves, because it's really having to do with our courage. That's one thing that, like, I feel like a lot of black women are disingenuous when it comes to POC, solidarity, all that nonsense, because it never really existed in America or in Latin America or in any other country, let's be real. But yeah, it's that they hate when we actually stand up, and that I was saying on my channel, that feminism is absolutely outdated because it's not showing how non-black women, non-black men, people of color willingly sabotaging for the sport of black women's progression, including black men. It's like they have all been colluding against us, and it's undeniable. It's very infuriating. I was just watching a post about Dora, the African woman who was stopping sex trafficking in Africa, and how the male villagers, really could not stand her guts. And I'm pretty sure it had to be an inside job because they were definitely plotting on her. And she got unalived during Christmas. And it just really, like I said, it all ties into them being genetically jealous of our resilience. And when you look at yourself in the mirror, understand that they don't want to be us. They want to wear our skin. They want what's in us, not what's on us. Okay, that's where I land my plan.
All right. I got you, BB. All right, let me go next up here to TC 22. You there? Okay.
Hi, thank you so much. So I wanted to respond to the prompt. I don't think that they necessarily hate Black women, because the world will say, if you're having a problem, go find a Black woman, right? So but they absolutely need us to remain helpful, right? And to always be of service to everyone except ourselves, right? And the moment that you move from sort of the paradigm or compartment that they have you in, and you're like, I'm going to be of service only to me, that's when the world will have a problem, right? Because, women in particular, but Black women have sung the lullabies that kept people from dying in wars and in various times in history. And we know that because when the voices stopped singing, like Aretha Franklin, the world went into chaos, right? And so we know that they are the mothers that have lulled the entire world in their arms and have been of service to everyone. But the moment that particular group of people stops being of service to everyone else, they collapse. And so they need you to just continue to be of service in that way, because if you're ever of service to yourself, the entire, paradigm shifts, because the first mother of the world, once they're back into their rightful place, then that means the entire system crumbles and it shifts again. So it's not necessarily, I think, a hate, but I definitely think there is a piece where there's a need, right, for that service and all that energy and powerfulness to be literally funneled into other people that may have gaps or need it or whatever it's needed for. But there is a piece that if that ever shifts, then the entire system that's built on that mother energy, that empathy, that love, that, ingenuity, that service, all of that, unfortunately will change.
Okay. So, I was listening to what you were saying, TC, and I have a question for you. So when you say that you don't think that it's necessarily hate, what do you call it when? Because I'm not going to just put this on Black men, because I'm in a lot of spaces and I see white men really drag Black women as well, which is why I'm so much against, Black women that date out becoming white male worshipers, because white men are equally as harmful to Black women. And the only reason why you could say that Black men, do more femicide against Black women is only because they are in close proximity. But if Black women were in close proximity with white men the way they are with Black men, white men would do the same and even more, in my opinion. So it's like when you see the world take pleasure in Black women being harmed or losing their life, or they dismiss anything that Black women say about how they're feeling, the pain that they have felt, how they have been harmed, I would say, what do you call that? Or when I had seen this video, right, of this Arab man. He was trying to talk to these two Black women. They weren't with it. And instantly it was just like you N word with the hard R, B words, you N word with the hard, R, B words. What's the guy say? Tigger witches. But you know what I'm saying? It wasn't that. You Tigger witches, you Tigger witches. And it's just like the switch to the extreme vitriol and violence, or, the many black women that have said their experiences, or even this guy that I discovered like maybe like, okay, well, I discovered him like maybe 6 to 7 months ago. His name is that S word cheap. And when I saw him, he had like, I want to say like 5 or 10,000 followers. And he was talking about how when he was 18, he had an illegal weapon on him, and his grandmother took the charge and spent 4 years in prison. She was in her 60s for him. And he was saying basically how he didn't care about her sacrifice, that that's what she was supposed to do. And, she was old and it was his time. And basically, so what? He said he didn't feel any type of way. The other black men he was in the panel with asked him, like, hey, so, he said he didn't feel a way. He didn't care. Now he makes content where he talks about hurting black women, being aroused by black women crying, and aroused by black women's pain, seeing them being hurt off of something that he did. And and now his platform has blown up, exploded due to his content based on the degradation and dehumanization and hatred of black women. Now he has almost 400,000 followers. So what do you think that is, if it's not hatred? And it's no judgment of what you're saying. I was just wondering, like, for a different perspective, because I think it's refreshing to have a different perspective. It's just like, what do you think that is, like, when you see things like that? Do you think it's just dislike or
No, I think
internalized or what?
I think it's displaced symbiosis of the mother, right? So when you're the mother of the world, people have connotations, definitions, and expectations of what they think a mom is supposed to be, right? So there's this uncaring love. There is, undying love. There is, no matter what you do, I'm going to always be there, and you can kill me, but I'm your mom, right? And so when there's typically in a symbiotic relationship, there's give and take from both sides. But from a mother, remember the mother, if you think of it just from the perspective of humanity, the requirements and the definition of a mom is that you give until you go, right? And Mother Earth is supposed to give and give until Mother Earth can't give anymore, and we have nowhere to live, right? So when you think about that relationship, it's not a give and take. A mom is giving all the time, but never receives anything on the other side. And so the displaced symbiosis becomes when you're now saying, I will no longer be of service to anyone but myself. Well, wait a minute, mom, why are you not giving anymore? That's the definition and expectation. You've always been of service to everyone except yourself. Why do you not want to be of service to me? And the moment that the shift is happening where that love is turned internally instead of externally, it can often be looked at as hate, but what it really potentially could also be, right, is a displaced request or belief system that you have about what a mother or what a human is supposed to give. And when they say, I don't want to give that anymore, and that's not the definition I'm going to place on myself. And while you may want to believe that and see that I'm not doing that, then what can often happen is that they try to dissuade everyone else from, okay, well, don't like this person because they got out of the box that we had them in, and we had 15 boxes and they're no longer in there. So we need everybody to push them back into that box because we actually need them. They don't need us. And so when you think about a relationship where one person needs everything from you and you need nothing because you're complete within yourself, oftentimes that creates envy, that creates jealousy, that may manifest itself in like a young boy slapping a girl, because he really likes her, right? But that's literally what's happening is you have someone that is complete within themselves and another group that may or may not be complete because they need that piece you have. And so what it manifests itself is you shall be punished, right, if you do not fit into what I need you to be. Because again, you don't need any of that. You're complete. And how are you
Now, TC,
complete?
you
And I
said
have holes. So I think
now.
that's that misplaced piece.
I had a question, TC. You said that just like when a boy slaps a girl because he likes her. So do you think that men that because I've heard people say that. I mean, I disagree with that thought, but do you think that men that harm women or have the propensity to harm women can still love them in some way, or that they do?
I think that men, women, anyone who harms someone has whatever psychological situation that they're going through. And I'm not a psychologist, so I'm not even going to try to use the DSM or anything to categorize anyone. But what I am simply saying is, in metaphorical terms, if you look at, the beginning of the earth and saying that one particular group, every human came from that group, there is a definition that's associated with mother. And there's also a need, a desire, and there's, things that people believe is supposed to happen from quote unquote that word. And when you shift whatever that word is, it's just like if somebody says, I'm a lover. If tomorrow you say, nope, I'm going to be a fighter, people want to push you back into the lover mode, right? And so not understanding that a mother is not a static person, a category or definition. It is dynamic, and it can have 50 different sides depending on the situation and what's necessary in that moment. So I think what's happening now is, in this necessary moment, Black women in particular may be becoming less service oriented, and they are turning that love into themselves, and everyone around them is upset and wants to put them back to where they wanted to define them and what they needed from them, in my opinion.
Okay. I got you. Um, bro, brown sugar, you on teacup? Did you? Because I was going to go back from the bottom back up to the top. Did you? Well, she's on teacup, so she might not. Kalandra, did you? Oh, well. Courtney, you have something to say, and then I'll go to Kalandra and then see if brown sugar is ready. Go ahead, Courtney.
Yeah, Trick. So you said that guy that basically didn't care about his grandmother serving time for his charge has over 4,000 followers now.
He has almost 400,000 on Instagram.
Oh
Yep.
my gosh.
He
See,
has a lot on TikTok too.
I bet. I actually saw that video on your YouTube. I know you posted a couple days ago, but I saw that this morning. I'm like, yeah, I remember that first clip about his grandma, and then he was talking crazy in his podcast saying that he got aroused off a woman's pain. It's like, see, it's definitely the blind leading the blind. I know, Trig, you say this from time to time. Like, if you were to be one of these podcasters that would be out here talking crazy and reckless and basically leading women or whoever your target audience would be down a rabbit hole, a lot of people are lost in this world. Like, we are all on this planet and a lot of people are lost. And like I always say, there are leaders and there are followers, and a lot of people always want to follow the leader, even though they will lead you to destruction. Because one, they might not even live that life for real, but the way these men are talking, they probably do live that life. Why? Because like you said on your video, they hate themselves. They know they're not ish. They know they're not worth ish. And they want to talk badly to not only get views and attention, because they know a lot of people are ignorant and want to sit up here and be like, yeah, he's spitting facts. And if there are women listening to him, which I hope not, but there probably is, and they're saying, oh yeah, he's spitting facts, they know good and well they wouldn't deal with him, because any woman in her right mind that has some self-esteem and self-worth would know that you would not pay that man any attention unless you just want clout. And it's not good clout, because he's going to dog you out, because any man that hates themselves, they are going to dog you out. And people that stay with people, whether it's money, clout, whatever the case may be, you do not love yourself. And it's definitely the blind leading the blind, because people that are woke and speak highly or speak good on real topics, those are the people that really just aren't as publicized. And it's so backwards in this world, because people would rather follow the destruction. Me personally, I honestly think it's spiritual and biblical. I'm not even going to get into that, but it's like you can either do the right thing, but a lot of people want to choose to follow the wrong thing. And I thank you, Trick, for just keep speaking on what you do and not being like a lot of these people that be out here faking the funk, or if they really believe in what they idolize or speak about, then God help us all. I'll land there.
All right. I got you, Courtney. I mean, I'll just say, like, as far as my thoughts and perspectives on it, I think that the world, even if they are not able to conceptualize or recognize it, they are envious, and jealous of Black women. I think that is the reason why, across racial demographics, people are always their baseline is an imitation of a black woman. G white men, G black men, G Asian men, sometimes straight men as well, using their comedy content based off of their emulation of black women. Also, men based off of their um using black women, shaming black women for their independence and resilience, yet needing and desiring black women to help them and pick them up, and telling black women that they're supposed to, sacrifice and take care of these adult baby men. Um, Even when you think about white tea women and their obsession with black beauty while simultaneously denigrating it with the lip injections, the tanning, and all of the other contradictory things they do. And the same thing, white tea Latinas and white tea Hispanics do the same. And so do Asian women as well, depending on what part of Asia we're talking about. And I think that all of those things are um it's almost like it's a firestorm for hatred, because jealousy and envy can easily turn into hatred. There are so many people that have unalived people they were close to due to envy and jealousy getting out of control. I think it's all under the same umbrella, but I definitely believe that there are a lot of people that have intense hatred for black women, and I feel like to not acknowledge the hatred is to actually open black women up for possible victimization. But I mean, that's just my opinion. I do think it's hatred. I think that it's always been hatred. I think that anytime you can string up a black woman and cut open her guts and stomp on her baby's head and leave her there, that's hatred. I think anytime you can constantly dehumanize somebody and not see their side of things and not have any empathy for them, and they're crying and they're in pain, and you don't see anything or feel anything simply because they're a black woman, that is hatred. It's purely demonic. And I don't know if people are looking at it from a spiritual side, but there's definitely components and elements to that as well. Okay, so let me go down here to Calandra, and then I'll go down next to Brown Sugar.
No, I wanted to say, because that I disagree with that. I think that the world does hate black women. I feel like Megan Thee Stallion is a clear case in point of that. This girl was popped by Tory Lanez, and the fact that people have more issues with her for wanting justice for something bad that happened to her than you have with the person that did the bad thing to her is crazy to me. And I think that the world hates black women. I scroll TikTok late at night when I can't sleep, and I just like pop in some of the lives, and I just like the stuff that they're saying about black women. I just be like, what the world? Like, how they got, like, it's this one black guy, he go live every night. Black single mothers ruined the black community. This man has 100,000 likes, about 1,000 people be in there. Like, some of the lives that I see that are dogging black women on our hair, whether we wear natural or weave, when you're talking to them, like, I was on a live earlier today where they were talking about, the guy said 304 culture is the reason for single motherhood. And when I tried to say that most women are having babies with their boyfriends, he completely, like, he took it somewhere where I was just like, oh my God, like, you're wrong. But, and then, like, it was this another black guy. He said that, I don't know if y'all saw that video of that 18-year-old girl getting punched in her face by the cop. He literally made a video and said, I don't care if that happened to her, because I want to get the words right, because he blew me and I had to watch it twice. It was a reaction. He said that he didn't care what happened to her because black women don't care if something happens to black men. And I was just like,
Yeah, I saw that.
You saw that? And like, for example, TC kind of irritated me. It is not black women's problem how black men are treated by white people. They don't have nothing to do with us. I'm sorry, but for me, that's not our fight. And I think that the biggest problem in the black community is that we feel like a lot of us, especially these male centered pygmies, feeling like how they get treated by society is on the weight of your shoulders is the reason why we're so comfortable and why people think it's okay to treat Megan Thee Stallion like that. You can't sympathize with Megan Thee Stallion, who was the victim of a violent, I don't know if you can say that word, a V crime. And the fact that you have a bigger issue, because I saw this one girl, I remember I was getting my hair done, right? And Anxiety by Megan Thee Stallion played. And I rapped the whole song because that song that got me through some dark nights. And she was like, I don't really like Megan Thee Stallion. Why you like her? And I said, why don't you like Megan Thee Stallion? She put a black man in the jail system. And I literally like told her about herself, like, the fact that you have a bigger issue with her getting justice for something bad happening to her, the fact that, and a lot of black women think like that. She's not the only one, because I done been on Facebook Lives, and as a Megan Thee Stallion fan, I be defending her, and how they have argued with me and say, she put him in jail, black man in jail. No, he does belong in there. And if I was the judge, I would have gave him 25 years. They belong in there. And I'm really tired of the black community, black women in particular. It is not how they are treated by other people. That don't have nothing to do with us. And the issue that I have with black women is that the grace that y'all can always find for them somehow, some way, when you look how they get treated, and that's like, no, because they don't give that to you. The way that these black men get on these lives and tear down single mothers is no grace for those women. I literally said today that most women who are having babies with men, they're having them with their boyfriends, and they're having them to believe that one day they will be a family. No, that's not true. That's not true. What are you talking about? And the fact of the matter is that the world does hate us. And I think that when you're always saying that they don't, and you're trying to, people can want your labor and not like you. And I think that the problem with black women is that we have to start understanding that the problems of black men are not on our shoulders. And we also have to work on our low racial self-esteem. Criticizing the three of these women for whatever the reasons that you have, you really need to work on that male shittiness, and you also need to work on that low racial self-esteem. And the problem of it is that a lot of it is all tied to male centeredness, because the way I be having to argue with people on Facebook about Megan Thee Stallion, 20, 30, 40, 50-year-old women, I'd be like, oh my God. Like, the fact that like how she's treated is so unfair to me, because I feel like, why should she have grace? Like, I remember one time this one girl said to me, well, my issue with it is that why does she somebody? You don't get to tell people how to feel about things that happen to them. Are y'all okay? If somebody do something bad to you, if you want to keep talking about it, go right ahead. Never let them off your shoulder, because they didn't think about that when they did it. And I'm sorry, but for me, I do think that the world hates black women. The way how people tear us up on these apps every day, and be the likes be booming, the gifts be booming. I just be like, you like, no grace is given. Like, and then the crazy part about the black community in particular, the standards that we hold for black women are not fair at all. Because on one hand, you tell women to pick better men so they won't be in certain situations, but on the other hand, you drag the women that you say that felons are a high value man, or should a woman, why you should go be with a felon. Like, that's what I'm saying. The double standards is crazy to me. I'm sorry, that was a rant.
That's okay. It was a rant that I totally understood and definitely wholeheartedly agreed with, for sure. Let me I definitely agree with everything that you said. You made so many points. Um, Excuse me. Let me go down here to Brown Sugar. Go ahead, Brown Sugar.
My bad. I was typing to Kalanja. That was very well spoken, sis. Yeah, I definitely
Yes, it was.
disagree. Yeah, for sure. I definitely disagree with TC when she said that black women aren't hated, and I just really couldn't believe she said that as a black woman, because I even felt like we're hated, especially now as I grow up as an adult. When I was a child, I don't think I understood the gravity of how hated we were. for literally no reason. If a black woman decides to speak up for herself, all of a sudden you're a nappy head, you're a monkey, nobody likes you, you're overweight, oh, you're a single mom. They laugh at you for being a single mother. All this, just so much negative stuff. And if black women weren't truly hated, why are the femicide rates so high? If we weren't hated that much, why are the femicides so high? Why do the men in our community feel so entitled to us that they want to take us up off of this earth if black women weren't hated? So to say that was really sad, and I kind of wish she didn't leave, because I think it was a moment to educate. I don't think anybody was, taking jabs at her, but it's just like, stop running away from uncomfortable conversations, because sometimes you got to have uncomfortable conversations and sit in that uncomfortableness in order to grow, and I feel like I have done that. And I feel like when you walk away from certain things that you may not like, you refuse to allow yourself to grow and open yourself to other perspectives. Because what I've seen with my own eyes, not only online, but in real life, I see a lot of hatred for myself and women that look like me. And for you to sit up here and say that's not true, I feel like you're doing yourself a disservice. You're doing little black girls that's coming up under you a disservice, and you're doing women who are watching this live and on the panel a disservice. And, I just really thought that it was a moment for her to get educated, not to be bashed, but she ran away from it. And I feel like that's weak to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's real lives, real black women lives that are being impacted. I seen this story out in Philly. This young black, well, she was like in her 30s. She had 2 kids, but she was literally crying, telling people, "Come take my kids. I can't take care of them." She was in the house with this man. He was cussing her out in front of the kids, cussing the kids out. She was like, "I don't like how he's talking to my kids. I can't take care of them." Nobody helped her. He ends up unaliving her and himself, and the kids were sitting in there with their deceased bodies for 72 hours. So it's just like, even if you cry for help as a black woman, nobody care about your tears. You're going to have to sit with it and deal with it. They only care when you in that dirt. So I really wish black women would really open their eyes to the seriousness of it and stop living in la la land. So thank you, Trey.
Oh, no problem, no problem. I mean, I definitely agree with everything that you said as well. I mean, like I said, I didn't drop her anything. I was just I actually was trying to pick her brain, because the things that she was saying, it was just interesting, and I was just trying to, figure out how she came to that conclusion. But I definitely what I'm saying, I wasn't trying to be funny. I really just wanted to understand, to be honest. Because I didn't even know that people were still really thinking that, like, boys hitting you and things like that really meant they liked you. It may have meant that they wanted to use you to their own ends, but I don't think that violence ever, or acts of things that devalue, I don't think those are things that you do that come to mind for you to do when you like someone. Like, I remember I had a crush on this guy when I was in high school. I just thought he was so fine. This was back in the day. They had like the dudes was putting the texturizers in their hair, and then they was getting like the lines on the side. And I just thought he was fine. Like, I really, really, really liked him. Many a days I would write in my little notebook about this boy. I never once thought about smacking him or hitting him to let him know that I liked him. I mean, I just don't think that that's a normal default for um emotionally healthy and mentally sane individuals. However, I feel like we give men an excuse to be insane and abusive and make excuses for them. And then we wonder why, when they grow up, the reason why they make up 90% of all the violent crime and all of the bad stuff that's going on in the world, because we give them an out. Because ain't nowhere in the world will let us go smack some boy in the face and be like, "Oh, I like you though." Did you know that? Like, what? It don't work like that. It ain't gonna work like that for us. But go ahead, Brown Sugar.
Yeah, I want to say one more thing. I'm glad you brought that up, that she said that. I want to tell a story. So when I was in third grade, I used to go to a Catholic school, and I was sitting next to this young black dude. His name was DeAndre. I'll never forget it. At first, I had a little crush on him. His underarms used to stink, but I'm like, cool. We used to sit next to each other. And one day, this boy flashed me his little Peter Pecker when we were in third grade, right? In class. So I'm like, what the heck is going on? Mission, like, I'm like, how old are you in third grade? Like 8, 9 years old. I'm like, what the heck? And then one day he got mad at me because I didn't want to touch it and stabbed me in the leg with the pencil. Now, y'all think that boy liked me? No. So it's just like when you tell young girls, like, okay, if he's doing this stuff with you and all this other stuff, that means he like you. No, that means that little boy got problems and he's seen too much as a child. And you should never tell young girls that a man not a man, that a little boy possessing those hate behaviors is a sign of a crush. If he got a crush on you, maybe he'll create you a card or something, or he'll give you some flowers that he picked out on the street. I don't know, but that is not what you should be telling young girls, that a man, I'm sorry, I keep saying a man, I'm in my adult mind frame, that a little boy has a crush on you. You know, like, that was crazy. Like, I'll never forget that. And then the only thing they did to him was suspend him and move him to the other side of the class after he already done and violated me and stabbed me with a pencil. Sorry, jabbed me with a pencil. Sorry.
All right, I got you. I got you, brown sugar. Yeah, that sounds crazy. Okay. I think Alondra, you said you had something to say?
And I wanted to ask all y'all a question, right? So I was on a live last night, right? And I didn't get on the live, but I was in the comments. And this is your fault that I said this to these women on this live, right? So they were making a live saying that are women wrong, black women wrong for not wanting to have black sons. And they were saying that, and I was saying that you can't like sleep. Like, I learned this talking point from you, Trigger, that you can't be out here sleeping with men and not wanting their sons. And so they decided to start like responding to me in the comments, and they were saying that boys are inherently bad. And for me, I really hate that I gotta say this. Maybe because I have a son, I do not believe that. I said that I think a lot of boys are coddled by their mothers, and I said that boys are loved, girls are raised. And they start saying, you just want to blame women. And I said that behind every man that has ever did a woman wrong, his mama right there with him, sitting up there agreeing with it. And I said that I feel like, and maybe I say this because I do have a son, so I might be biased on that. But I was like, and Trigger, I wanted you and Brown Sugar and you too, Courtney, to say, like, do y'all agree with that statement? Because they were dragging me, said I was a misogynist, and said that I hate women. And I said that I do think that some guys who grow up to be horrible people were not correct. I feel like, okay, I'm Gen Z, right? That Gen X generation that I feel like we're the kids of them and these are the men. My mom was male center, right? And when I start to think about like how all my mom's friends were, when I think about like a lot of the older Gen X generation, right? They were male centered. And I feel like they did not hold their sons accountable. And I feel like they dated bad guys, was okay with that, because if I tell y'all about some of my mom baby daddies, y'all was like, oh my God. Like, and so I said that I feel like a lot of the issues that we're having today came from boys who were not men, boys who, like y'all said, were saying that, oh, if he do this to you, he like you, and their moms not holding them accountable. And now today, those are the men that we're dealing with. And so, Trigger and Brown Sugar, I wanted y'all to tell me if I was right or wrong to say that. And I wasn't necessarily blaming women for the actions of men, but I do think that sometimes it do be us.
I'll just say I'm gonna address several things that you said. The first thing is, and this may be controversial, y'all. This may be a hot take, and y'all don't have to like agree. You know what I'm saying? I don't want y'all to feel like I have to. But I always felt like when women would talk about like, oh, like all men are bad. And so I feel like all men will like, or such a high percentage of men that will turn out to be like a maniac or whatever, that if I have a son or I get pregnant and I have a son, I'm going to terminate the pregnancy. I just always felt that was weird because I just feel like if you don't want any more men out in the world to take a chance on them having a chance of life, I don't think you should be taking dick. I feel like you should just be with a woman. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you want to do. But I just think it's weird to say that you feel that strongly about men, but you'll still have sexual relationships with them. You'll still be with them. You will still birth a child by them. That's weird to me. That don't make no sense. Because if I'm feeling like all of these men are this type of way or that type of way, I'm definitely not having sex with no man and definitely not having this baby, girl or boy. Like, that's just weird. And also when we talk about like men, I've given y'all my ratio on men, what I think. I think, okay, so I'm not a person that thinks that every man is a rapist or every man is an unaliver or every man is a PDF. But I do think that even when you look at within groups of men, you might not have them be that extreme, but you might have a womanizer. You might have, like a cheater, a baby mama maker, a man that's gonna gaslight you and not support you and be lazy and be a homosexual and all of these things. So when I look at men, what I think is I don't just necessarily look at the worst they could be, but even just bad men to where you wouldn't want to be in a relationship with them. I think 75% of men are like that, of all races. 75 to 80%. That's the number that I feel it is. I don't think that it's all men, but I do think though a lot of the reason why men are the way they are, going into what Kalandra said, is socialization. Mothers that are mammies and pick-me's that don't hold their sons accountable, that anytime their sons do anything, they blame the women, just like that white T boy that went up there in that high school and choked out them two white T girls, filmed it, choked out one girl, almost unalived her. She was 30 seconds, they said, from unaliving, and raped her. Then choked out the other girl. The girl had to go to the hospital. And you got a white female judge, a white mama, they covering it up, getting this boy probation so he can go where it's not on his record and he can go to college that's gonna be starting and be up in there with more girls that he gonna prey on. Like, I think a lot of men turn out poorly because of that. And it's not just putting it on the women, it's their fathers as well. So I don't know. I just feel like it's a layered conversation when it comes to that. But I just always felt like the women that are like, period, hands down, I won't birth the male. If you feel hands down you won't birth the male because you think that it's just such a high probability, even with you raising your son the way you need to, I don't think you should be having sex. I feel like you're a hypocrite for doing that, but that's just my opinion. A lot of women don't agree with that perspective. But let me keep going. I'm gonna go to Brown Sugar and then to Miss Kamisha.
I would say, like, my opinion on that, I don't have a son, but I do feel like I'm 50-50 on that. I really feel like, okay, if there's two parents in the household, I think they both have a part to contribute to not coddle their son. And it maybe the father doesn't do it, but the mother spoils them, or the father just looks away. But if you are a single mother raising your son, I really feel like it would be the best option for you to not coddle your son, because if you do, you're gonna have a headache on your case, and you're gonna have to deal with a teenage boy who is gonna start talking back to you. He's gonna start getting bigger than you. He's gonna start getting mouthy, and if you don't have a support system, you're gonna have to deal with him. So I really feel like both of the parents, they really have to be instrumental in making sure that they are correcting their son at all times, making sure that he's on point. A lot of these parents don't want to teach their young men to be gentlemen. And this is fathers too, because they'll try to give these young boys game. Oh yeah, this is how you get the girls and da da da. I don't rarely hear fathers telling young men, well, I want you to be a good husband. I want to show you how you cater for your wife, let's how you get a good job so you can provide for your wife, how use tools so you can be self-efficient until you get a wife. You know what I'm saying? How to build up your own self as a man until you're ready to get a wife. These fathers don't even want to do that, and I feel like on the mother's side, a lot of these women don't want to let their sons go because they low-key want a boyfriend, which is weird. So I feel like it goes hand in hand. I feel like they both play a role depending on the situation. So no, I don't think that you're misogynistic, Calandra.
All right, all right. I got you, Brown Sugar. I mean, I definitely see both of you guys' perspectives, and I agree with both of y'all. Like I said, I just think it's a very nuanced conversation, and I'm not like I said, I'm not what's the word I'm looking for? Shaming anybody for whatever decisions you choose to make. Let me go next up here to Miss Kamisha. Go ahead, sis.
Well, earlier, when you guys were talking about, I don't know, it was with what the lady that dropped, I forgot her name, but CT or something like that, when she was talking. But like, I was thinking about why black men would actually hate us, and why they feel such anger towards us. And only thing that kept coming to me was the fact that we live in America, and the standards of America is patriarchal, and they're weak, right? And in my opinion, a lot of black men are weak, and they feel like they're supposed to be the leaders of our community, but they just don't have it in them to be, to lead. A lot of them, they don't have it in them to lead. So when we fight through this patriarchal system and still rise to the top, and still, get to where we are trying to go in our success, they become angry with us because they're really angry with themselves, but also still angry with us because we are choosing to opt out of being like a victim. And I hate using that word because America has found a way to use that word victim in a negative way. I mean, well, it is negative, but you get what I'm saying. Like, they found a way to blame victims, and I think that because we fight through, like, we we are just confident. We have our own businesses. We're creative. We create trends. We're able to be we're able to change our looks. We are built a certain way. Our bodies are built a certain way. Our skin is beautiful. I think that because we do exude such confidence, I believe that because they don't know how to do it, a lot of them don't know how to do it. That's why they are angry with us, because constantly they're being told that they're supposed to lead, they're supposed to provide all that yin yang that they be talking. But at the end of the day, I think that's why they have such anger. We're considered at the bottom of the totem pole, but yet we still keep rising to the top, finding ourselves as CEOs in businesses and higher up. And I think that's why they hate us, because I do agree that we are hated amongst everybody, and that's even across the diaspora. I really believe that in a lot of places. And then as far as the boy moms is concerned, I wouldn't consider myself a boy mom, but I did raise a son. And in my opinion, you guys are correct about not coddling them. When I found out I was having a son, I watched how women treat their sons. They treat them like they are like kings, in which we should, but there's a limit to that. Like, he's the king of himself, not everybody else. And when I watch the women raise their sons, I'm like, I don't want my son acting nothing like that. My son used to come to the kitchen while I'm cooking. He just stand there and he'd give me this look like, what you cooking today? And when you gonna have my food fixed? And I'd be like, get your butt up out this kitchen. Get up out the kitchen. Go find something to do. Go clean up your room. Like, I made sure that I did not coddle him and make him feel like he couldn't do it by himself. Because at the end of the day, I want to be confident. Now, there are negatives to it. There's advantages and disadvantages. Now, I barely hear from my son. And when I try to help him do anything, he won't let me help him. But sometimes we all need a little bit of help. And so at the end of the day, there's advantages and disadvantages. You just got to find a true balance. And yeah, they do need their father in the home. I was unfortunate to, I didn't have that. But at the end of the day, I said, I don't care what it is. I'm not going to treat him like I would my daughters, because I know that the world is not going to treat him that way. And I believe that a lot of women, I see it all the time, hugging and squeezing, and you can love on your child, but there's a limit, to it. And I always hated that women undress in front of their sons. That's a big issue too that I have with a lot of boy moms. They undress in front of their sons, and they walk around the house with, I just don't like it. At the end of the day, you have to teach your son boundaries when it comes down to women. And I think that by them walking around the house like that, they are not, teaching their son boundaries, So yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. That's what I wanted to say.
Excuse me, I'm some drink went down the wrong pipe. I mean, I definitely see your perspective as well, Kamisha. I mean, I think all of y'all made great points about this stuff. I just feel like, I just think it's very hard, in my opinion, to be a black woman, and it's very hard to get like all black women on code. And I know that we're all not going to agree on every single thing, right? There'll be one thing that you think about this, then one thing that another woman thinks, but then another woman will agree with you and all of that, for all of our thoughts and perspective. But if we could just get on code to a baseline, thought process that black women are hated, black women are in danger, black women need to protect their energy, black women need to close ranks and not allow anyone else into our spaces unless you are a black woman, a black biological woman. I feel like we could make more strides. But because black women are so deeply male-centered and are so neglected, because they're black women are the only group of women that are poured into by nobody. If you're a black woman and you get poured into, more than likely it's going to be yourself doing the pouring, maybe your mom, maybe some family members, but most black women don't get any of that. So I think most black women grow up, whether it is consciously or subconsciously, desiring and needing validation. And because mammyhood is encouraged in the black community, most black women and black girls grow up desperately wanting validation from men. And until black women can unpack that mamminess, that male-centeredness, that desire for male validation in some way, shape, form, or fashion, we won't be able to get anywhere. It's the same way. And I'm really not trying to bring her up, but I just feel like it's a great point to make. The same way with PBW, who used to come in here and talk about how strong she is. And anytime a black woman would talk about how she got okey-doked or harmed or hurt, she was always there to say, not me though, not me. I would never do that because I'm not stupid. I don't play games like that. Da-da-da. But you always see her in a black man's live, begging for crumbs, giving them attention, pouring into them, telling them that she's so happy that they're speaking for her. Like, that lets you know that her actual actions are in direct conflict with the words that come out of her mouth, which is why I always tell people, and I say it on my page all the time, and this, I say it normally when it applies to men, but it also applies to women. You never listen to someone's words that come out of their mouth as an indicator of their true feelings about you or anything like that, because people will tell you any freaking thing. They'll tell you, I love you, I care about you, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I mean it, da, 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 and they'll never do none of it. The only thing that's going to show you anything is their actions. So regardless if a black woman comes in here and huffs and puffs about how she don't play that, how she don't like black men, how black men are the lowest of the low, haven't done anything, how white tea men are better, which is all things that PBW has said, but yet her actions show she don't mean none of that. She had a video of herself berating an old dude that tried to holler at her at Popeyes, and I'm like, okay, did he touch you? Did he call you out your name? No. Did he just try to talk to you? Why didn't you just tell this man, no, he back there frying chicken? Why are you dragging this man? There's no reason for that, but it's performative, right? So you're doing all of that, but yet your actions show you desperately, desperately desire and need male validation. More specifically, black male validation. That's the reason why every time I see her, she's in a black man panel doing that. Begging for, you know what I'm saying? A Krabby Patty. And from a black man, mind you. That to me is actually scary. But I already know when black women, you talk to black women and you ask them who they listen to. When they're telling you men, you should already know something ain't right. Something ain't right with the milk, in the milk, but the milk ain't, or whatever it's called, something in the milk ain't clean. I just really want black women to understand that until we all unpack that right there, the desire for male validation, the desire for, if a man don't tell you you pretty, you not. If a man don't tell you that you the bomb, you not. If a man don't tell you you smart, you not. If you don't see men everywhere dropping to their feet and trying to talk to you, then that means you ain't nobody. Until black women stop thinking like that, or thinking, oh, I got a man, so that make me somebody. I got a man, so I'm better than you. I got a husband. Oh my goodness, look at you. You ain't got no man. You ain't as good as me. Cause look at me. I got this man over here to validate my desirability. Until you stop thinking like that, you're not going to get anywhere. Cause that's nutty behavior. All black women are beautiful. All black women are amazing. And you don't need a man to validate you. You don't need a man to tell you that. You should be able to get out that shower and look in that mirror and look at your face, love your hair, love your skin, love your body with all of its imperfections and perfections, and make sure that you know that you are all of that and then some. You don't need no big buckethead man to tell you that. Why? When men literally brag about how they could literally put their private area in a piece of pie, in a random hole. They brag all the time, oh, I can have sex with anybody. I ain't got to like them. I ain't got to care about them. I can think they're disgusting. So if that's the case, then why in the world would you why would you need validation from people that don't even have to validate anybody to do anything? It just doesn't make any sense. And it's really a big mind control scheme that has been put on women in general, but definitely on black women. And it's something that we got to figure it out. But until we can get all black women, on code for this behavior, like literally we'll get nowhere. We'll get nowhere. We'll get nowhere. And unfortunately, I don't believe that black women are ready. I don't think black women are ready. I don't think black women are ready for it. They're not ready for that type of I don't know if I want to call it radical feminism, because I don't know if that's what it is. But I just don't think they're ready. You still got black women trying to defend men with wigs on, that are playing in their face actively every day and calling them fish and saying that their vaginas stink. You know what I'm saying? Like, your black women are literally protecting men that are saying that their vaginas stink. And these men playing butts all day. You mean to tell me that you think my vagina stinks, but you playing duty all day, and that smells better than me? What? What are we talking about here? I feel like fish, not that I don't think women smell like fish, okay? I'm just being facetious, but I'm just saying I believe that fish would trump boo-boo all day. I love a good catfish. I love a good perch. I love a good sea bass. Okay, let me stop playing. I'm doing too much. I'm just saying, all right. I love a good snapper. Oh my goodness. All right. Go ahead, BB. Go ahead, sis. Cause I'm gonna wrap this up anyway, y'all. Cause I only got 3 hours of sleep yesterday, and I feel like I'm probably gonna go to sleep early today. But go ahead, BB. Because I only got 3 hours of sleep yesterday, and I feel like I'm probably gonna go to sleep early today.
The feedback.
But go ahead, BB. Because I only got 3 hours of sleep yesterday, and I feel like I'm probably gonna. BB, I'm gonna drop you and add you right back. I think if I drop you and add you right back, you'll be able to come up. Or send me a request again, BB. Cause I don't see you in the list. So like send me, okay, there we go. Hold on.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. And actually it's baby bird. It's like a play on words of like, bird, like, being a bird brain. But yeah, I actually have a question. When do you truly think that Black women are going to come together? Like, because our predictions are always true. We predicted that Rump was going to win 25 years ago. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like Gen Z women are definitely more vocal about how Black men have treated us, but the self-hate is definitely more evident, and I don't know how to approach a self-hating Black woman without insulting her, because I'm gonna be honest, because it's not the time for that. It's really not the time for that, and I feel like the level of impatience that any logical person would have when we are being targeted by everybody. When there are individuals who still have a desire to placate the needs and desires of the masses, I don't know, like, what is your approach? Because I get the speaking life into, but some individuals are too ignorant. Like, I just, especially the way that a lot of male identified women do operate, when you try to enlighten them, or, they really be, I don't know, they be looking at you crazy, and then it turns into the, oh, you think you better than me. I mean, like, not really. Not like, I'm not trying to be. I want you to be better, but you don't want to be. So it's like,
I don't know. I feel like what's happened with male centeredness has just morphed into different ways that they're expressed. I don't think that, honestly speaking, I don't think that, what is it, the people that are in their 20s right now, Gen Z?
Yeah.
Gen Z, I don't think that Gen Zs are frankly any less male centered than baby boomers or Gen Xers or millennials. I really don't. They just choose to show and manifest their male centeredness in other ways. Because, like I said before, sitting there and fighting for the rights of men that just put a wig on and think that they're like you, that's literally insane. And I don't understand it. So I feel like it's all the same. Even when people talk about like women and like sexual freedom, and sex work is real work when it's really rooted in male centeredness and appealing to the desires of men and what they want you to do and fitting in the box that they want you to be under the guise of women's empowerment. I just feel like the generations that are coming up now just have been they've been brainwashed and mentally manipulated in such a way that they don't even see that they're just as bad. So I just feel like it's always going to be the majority of women, in my opinion.
True.
And I don't think that there's any way to stop it. I don't. At least I don't think that it'll be an my lifetime as a millennial. I don't think that it'd be in any of the ladies up here lifetime if you're a Gen Zer. I
Yeah.
just don't think that it's gonna happen anytime soon because the programming is just too deep and it's too insidious. And I just don't think that it's gonna be that way. But I think Kalandra also had something to say in response to this.
Oh no, I just wanted to say for me, I'm a Gen Zer, and I would have to say I don't think that we're vocal enough. The way how some of them tore up that little girl who mom unalived that man that was under her bed. I
Yeah.
saw like 18, 19, 20 year old. Well, that little girl, she was fast because when I was 13, you know what I'm saying? They had a lot more anger for this little 13-year-old girl than they had for this grown man. And then like when older, like it was that Sugar, you told me about that story of that seven. No, she was 20. She had a 3-year-old, and this older guy, I think he was like 36 years old, and he unalived her.
Oh crap, Coach. I'm so sorry.
Trigger, you had told me about that story. I don't know what that little girl, that young woman name was, but you had told me and Brown Sugar when we were on the live that day, and somebody did a live about her, and it was a bunch of Gen Z girls saying like older women are jealous of us, and they're just mad that we can get a man and they can't. And that's why I say Gen Z, their pick-meism is on the same level as older women. I don't really see a lot of millennials who be pick-me's as much, but Gen Z, my generation, oh, they massive pick-me's. I mean massive pick-me's. Like, they want to be picked. The way they took up for DV Daryl, they want to be picked.
DV Daryl, who's that?
You talking about DVD?
Girl, I
You
know.
talking about DVD?
I know who you talk about. I actually have a couple questions because you know how I'm talking about how like feminism is outdated. I actually want to hear a lot of Black women's opinions on that in response to the level of hatred that we do receive. And how.
What do you mean by that? Let me know.
I'm sorry.
I said, what do you mean by that? Like, when you say like feminism is outdated, can you explain to me what you mean?
Okay, so I like the couple times that I've been on the live, I talked about how non-Black women do not really aid in the process of female liberation because of their anti-Blackness. There is a innate jealousy when it comes with Black women who are in power. And because I've seen it, I went to a Silicon Valley retreat in STEM, and it was a Black woman in the highest position. And she was a Somali Muslim woman. And it was like, you know, it was a female-led STEM organization, everything. And she got the lowest claps. And I noticed that shit. And I was like, yup. Like, it just never stops. It just never really stops. They always want to keep the hierarchy, even within this gender studies conversation, the feminism conversation, because my hottest take is that feminism is just watered down womanism. And womanism was always first. Womanism is a humanist ideology on the basis of what Black women actually do in the real world and how we operate. Which is like we understand the cultural significance of things because of how much we have been neglected. We understand what real ethics is. We understand more of the nuances of consent, aka the voice note conversation, and how Black women were the only ones being the canary in the coal mine, being like, oh my gosh, like, are you kidding me? When it was biracial women, it was ambiguous women, it was every type of woman, white women especially, like, you know, you know how they are in the sense of having community with them. And I guess how it goes with Gen Z, you are right in saying that Gen Z is male identified a lot, because even the conversations with the Paris girl, and how I love how African American women did like actively check the fuck out of her when she was talking about her white, wait, can I say that? Can I say white nipple syndrome? Because do you guys know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
Damn, okay. But yeah, I just wanted, white nipple syndrome is when, like, you know, people, they constantly date white people for like white validation, and like a lot of people really do it, and it's yeah. But no, I wanted to hear, do you guys think that, oh, actually, I also wanted to add before I say that intersectional feminism, our staple of feminism was created in the notion of that POC women were going to listen to us and respect our stories and not use our vulnerability and our talking points against us and steal it from us and our intellectual property. And how do you guys feel about the concept of like what I've been saying, like how womanism is the truth? Like we've been circling the drain with feminism today, and it's always been choice feminism. Actively allowing your oppressors, aka POC women, white women, non-black women, to free you and have community with you is delusional. Like, and it's like and there is a self-actualization gap between skin tones, let's just be honest, and races of women, because of how hierarchy works, because of how microcultures assimilate. Yeah. I just wanted to hear everyone's perspective on that, because I do want feedback so I can do a video on it.
All right. I think Brown Sugar said that she wanted to say something first, and then I think Kalandra has a question as well. Go ahead, Brown Sugar, then Kalandra.
Yeah, I just want to say shout out to feminism. Shout out to the older ladies that came before me that fought for my rights, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have got a job offer in a cybersecurity role in a male-dominated space. And now I have the ability to learn skills, earn more money for me and my daughter, being able to travel, being able to teach other Black women to get in this career field and make this money, all because of the woman that came behind me. So I don't think that feminism is outdated. I feel like the things that those women have paid for, that have unalived for, has been able to afford me the lifestyle, being able to go to school, being able to not job hop, but work at a job and be able to grow and elevate to get to where I want to be because of feminism. And I'm so grateful for it. I don't care what time. I don't care if it's 2030, 2045, 2050, 2060. I know that when I'm unalive and gone, my daughter will have the benefits of feminism because of women that paved the way. And I just feel like it's just going to be different from how it was back then, because it's going to be like women like Trig, women on this panel that are going to make the impact and keep it going and keep it stronger for younger girls coming up. So no, I disagree with that. I think feminism is not outdated. It's alive and well, and I've reaped the benefits of it, and I'm so grateful and appreciative of it. And another thing I want to say about Gen Z is that it is hard to find a Gen Z woman that is not male-centered. And that's why I barely have any friends, because majority of them are extremely male-centered. And now that I've decentered men, I don't have any female friends like that, as much as I would like to. But the thing about a lot of Gen Z women, and I've done this, a lot of them are hard-headed. And they feel like they know everything and nobody can't tell them nothing. And I feel like when you operate life like that, you're going to make mistakes, because I've made those same mistakes as well. So one thing I would tell women in Gen Z, open your ears up. If you don't like the message that someone is telling you, take a step back, but it may be something that change your life. And, stop fighting over men and all this other stuff, because men are a dime a dozen. Focus on yourself. That's what I did. Focus on myself. I said, F these men. I don't care about them. I care about myself, about my child, and been reaping the benefits of feminism. So that's what I wanted to say. Thank you. Yes, and Miss Sharice is my girl. Yes.
All right, I got you, Brown Sugar. And then I think next up, Kalandra, you had something to say?
Yeah, I just had a question for her, because I was trying to understand some of the things she was saying, because she kept saying women of color versus white women. Are you saying, and then you brought up intersectionality, are you saying that, like, because we are women, but we're Black women too, that some things about society are different from us compared to white women? Like, because you kept saying that, I was confused by what you were saying, but I don't think that feminism is outdated. But I did want to ask you that point because you did bring up POCs and
Mhm.
YT women. Like, are you saying intersectionality makes those walks different for us versus them?
Um, I okay. I want to make sure that I'm communicating properly. Intersectionality was amazing. Like I do love the benefits of feminism. I'm not saying that. I'm saying yes, we do have a different lived experience, and POC and white women have a different lived experience. I love the advantages that Black women have established. I mean, like, just imagine how nauseating it was talking with white queer women, you know, POC women who had no understanding of Blackness, and like that's what they were doing. They literally laid the groundwork. All I'm speaking about is how within having conversations that are rooted in multiculturalism, it makes the concept of a post-racial society when that is not true, because there is a hierarchy. There is this layered disrespect that Black women do face. And womanism, which is what Black women created, which talks about how women should be paid for their labor. This is all from, like, you know, from after during Reconstruction, you know, African American women, we were writing papers about all the stuff that we are actually talking about now. And that's what would be called womanism, because feminism is the way it is described on social media and enacted in real life is different. You know, like the way, like, I feel like on the internet, it's very universal, like, where we can all, to a certain extent, commiserate and like see each other as like, oh my gosh, we're all having the same experiences. And I think that is wonderful. What I'm saying is we have all realized that we have been like gaslit systematically by, everyone really, when it comes to how women are treated and stuff like that. And now we're finally sticking up for ourselves. My thing is, the reason why we're at this point in history where we're losing our rights and stuff like that is because we had a lot of model minorities, people who were interested in just presenting as a diversity, but not really being intentional about their advocacy for marginalized individuals. And what else? Yeah.
Okay.
Any?
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Did you have a response to that, Kalandra? Or
Yeah.
Oh, I do understand what she's saying. I still think that we benefit from feminism, but I do agree with her.
Oh,
I said
yes, we
yesterday,
do
that
benefit.
us as
We do
Black
benefit.
women, our walks, like for example, with the whole T women and their womanhood thing, I said for me, I think my
Yes.
walk is different as a Black woman versus white T women. Like the Lindsay Clancy trial is a prime example of that. If that was a Black mother who did that to her kids, nobody would try to sympathize with her or say anything about that. So I do agree with her on that point, but I still think that feminism benefits us. But I do understand what she's saying. Yeah, I get it.
all right,
I
all
also,
right, all right.
oh, I'm so sorry. I also wanted to add, thank you so much. Like, that's what I was really just trying to communicate. I think that in feministic spaces, Black women are singled out. That's what I'm saying. Like, because of, you know, being in academia, or like just having conversations with, you know, how it is in actual real life, where you'll have a sisterhood, and then like you'll be the only Black woman, they'll try to mammy you, like, you know what I'm saying, like when we actually have conversations, and then a little of the anti-Blackness you know, seeps in, and then it's like this weird hierarchy. But it's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be a conversation between women of color, and it always turned into this, like the whole Drew follow, you know, and the ER fight master. That was an example of how limited feminism can be, because we saw how a white queer individual literally was talking out of their behind, and how they used a POC woman as props, and then she used black trans women as props. And then it's crazy because so many black trans women use us as props. And that's what I'm talking about when it comes with womanism, which is how it's really African American.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
about to say something. I feel like I think the number one things that you have to do as a black woman is you have to separate from everybody. I feel like there's no people of color. I mean, there are people of color, right? But I don't think as a black person you should ever put yourself in the people of color box. Like, you can put them over there, but you should always stay separate, because black people are in the unfortunate position of being looked down and beat down by white people that are unfortunately at the top of the racial hierarchy, and then also the POC people who desperately, most of them, want to bootlick and get some type of white adjacency by being their footstools, and they're willing to destroy black people or stomp on black people to get there. So I never look to any type of POC person as any type of spokesperson for anything. Not for feminism, not for social justice, not for what's right and wrong, not what's to fight for anything. Never would I look to POC people for anything. And as much as I wouldn't look to POC people for anything, I would even less likely look to white people for anything. In my opinion, this is just my opinion. Exactly. I feel like the majority, and this isn't all, but I do feel like a large majority of white people are morally bankrupt, and they have been brainwashed by what they feel like manifest destiny, that they are the great white hopes, and they are in charge of discovering the world and taking over and brainwashing people into their belief systems and all of these different things, that you definitely can't listen to them either. So me feeling like I would ever engage in feminism talk or with a whitey woman, I would never. That to me is so insane and laughable. I wouldn't even entertain a conversation. Like, if I was somewhere and it was like whitey women, they were like, "Hey, we're all women. Let's talk about feminism." I would say, get out of my face. No, I refuse to talk about it with you, because they can't even conceptualize anything outside of their bubble and look at anything correctly for me to ever trust any thoughts and perspectives that they have. And also, underneath that whole umbrella of that are women, and I don't mind saying this. Women that support trans women are always going to be an enemy to biological women, because they prioritize the validation of males, men with wigs on, and also being looked at as this performative social justice warrior, because it's just an image, it's just an act. They value that and prize that over true sisterhood with biological women that can understand their lived experiences. So somebody like Drew or Follow, you could never trust her ever under any circumstance, because she's gonna throw you under the bus all the time for a man. And somebody had this take about her, and I think it is really the truth. They said that she built a platform off of hating men, talking about men, exposing men, and all of that. But she never really hated men. She hated that she was not the typical beauty standard to attract the men that she probably wanted to get, one. And she also wanted the validation of men in some way. And now that she's getting that through trans women, and now that she has a boyfriend, somebody willing to accept her as she is, because I think that Drew Follow is unattractive to me. I'm no disrespect, but I don't think that she is an attractive woman. And I think that all of that is a perfect firestorm for insecurity and for male validation, which happens to a lot of women that don't generally get a lot of attention from men or don't understand how that works. So they tend to be more desperate for that type of affirmation, other than women that have gotten it, or they've gotten it all their lives, so it's not a big deal. So I mean, I feel like if you want to even get anywhere, all of those different groups and subgroups, you got to get rid of them, and you can't even look at them as anything. And frankly, the live that I had earlier today, if y'all was in there, I know some of y'all were, with the queer woman that was mask presenting, and she said that she agreed with T.S. Madison because she was 5'9" and got some chin hairs. So she understands about being a man or whatever. Like, insanity. Like, also people like that. Like, you gotta ignore them as well. And like, if y'all remember when I was talking to her, and she was talking about she was 5'9" and she had a deep voice and chin hairs that she would get, that makes her somehow manly. I'm like, ma'am, I'm 5'11". I got a raspy voice. What does that make me? Huh? Like, what are you talking about? I'm extremely tall. I'm 5'11". With heels, I'm like 6'3". Okay? Everywhere I go, I've always been towering over people. So much so that when I started dating, I was like, I wouldn't even entertain a man that's not taller than me. I wouldn't even think about it. I don't care how nice you say you are or whatever. I would never do it because I'm so tall. But that means I'm a man now? Like, those type of people, once again, you also have to get away from. Like, those people you cannot entertain. So I think once we are able to, which I don't think it'll ever happen, but once we are able to actually filter out the people that are actually enemies to feminism, or whatever label you want to put it on, women's empowerment, whatever people want to say. I don't mind using feminism though, but until we are able to get those type of enemies outside and kick them out, we're never going to get anywhere anyway, because they're going to people that are going to twist up and pervert women's rights, which is why right now that all of the rights that women fought for, blood, sweat, and tears for, are being basically rolled back to include men. Because at the end of the day, we started these things for women by women, but now because we're saying that men with wigs on can be women, now we're repealing those, and now we're erasing everything by allowing men in there, if that makes sense at all. So I just think it's all insane. It's all nutty. And I don't know how we'll ever be able to improve this, but at the end of the day, the only thing I'm concerned with is black women. That's it. Black women, black women, black women. And hopefully waking up a black woman every day. Because I'm only one person, but if I can do my part in waking up some black women to not be male-centered, to realize that they should shoot for the stars, to realize that they don't need a man to validate their beauty or their intelligence or their humanity, that they can be everything that they want to be, and anything that a man says that they can't be, they should definitely be striving for that. That if they do desire partnership or a husband or maybe even kids later, you don't have to do it now. Don't listen to them. If you keep it together, you do what you need to do, men will always be around. Okay? Always be around. And yeah. I mean, that's really all I had to say about it in response. But if anybody else, if y'all have anything else to say before I get out of here, I'll give a minute to you all to speak again. Cause I gotta get up out of here now. You have something to
Yeah, I
say,
wanted.
Kamisha?
Yeah, I wanted to say I don't believe that it's outdated either. Would I say like I'm some radical feminist? Would I even say I'm a feminist at all? No, but I'm grateful for the movement and the things that the things that it brought to my life and everything like that. I feel like I've never felt that we were supposed to be in spaces with other, well, like some people might feel that way, but I don't feel like I'm supposed to be in other spaces with other women. Now if it happens, it happens, but for the most part I've never felt like I belonged in any other group outside of black women, and I'm okay with that. And so I never looked at any white feminist woman or other nationality of feminist woman. I never looked to them as a representation of me, as you even said. I just feel like it's just like living in America. Being a feminist is just, or being a part of feminism is just like being in America. Like, we live in America and everything like that, but we aren't, we're still, to me, in my opinion, still segregated. We still have our own, walk of life that we have to walk. So it's never going to be that feminism is for us. And I do believe in womanism as well. And I believe that we can walk in womanism and still accept feminism as being a part of, our walk in this life. So, no, I don't feel like it's outdated. I feel like nowadays you just got a lot of subsets of it, and you just gotta, take the good with the bad, that's just how I feel about it. Like, I just feel like some people are just more radical, and I feel like racism is just gonna always be there, and it's nothing you can fix or change about it, so just keep, walking your walk and being thankful for the people that have come before us and the people that are coming, in the present, just, our leaders and people like that. So that's how I see it. But I don't feel like it's outdated at all.
All right, all right. I got you. I got you. I got you, Kamisha. All right, I'm gonna go down here to Miss Courtney. Did you have anything to say, Courtney?
Oh, I didn't really have nothing much else to say. I'm still just listening, but I agree with what everyone is saying.
All right, all right. I got you. I got you, Miss Courtney. All right, let me go up here to Baby Bird. Did you have anything to say, sis?
Yes, I am in agreement with what everyone has said. What I'm talking about, like why womanism, I think the first thing that I should probably do on my channel is talk about the history of feminism and how it was really white women stealing what they have always done, stealing stuff from us and claiming it as their own and calling it feminism when we were talking womanism the entire time. You're right. We do have a different type of feminism, and that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that we need to actually bring it back, wake it up, that we need to be separate because of the racism, the prejudice that is yielding our progress. And the cultural significance of it all, because it all has to do with, like you said, the model minorities, the fact that we are not seeing things from a African American woman's perspective of America, because when in understanding how trans women operate in relation to Black women, the concept of their behavior is different. When it goes to Black trans women saying that they want to be white women, that thing of how they play proximity to us, and then when they actually get some clout, now they look down on us. Now they want to cause violence on us, or just the extractive force. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking that we do need to separate, that we do need to recognize that Black women were right the entire time, always and forever, and that's what they resent about us. And that the only thing that I'm talking about is outdated is the kumbaya post-racial society of, oh, we're all a woman, we have universalization to connect us, when there's something bigger that is a disconnect, that is the reason of this deficit that we know as reality, which is anti-Blackness. That's my final point.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, and I definitely understand what you mean. When you frame it like that, for sure. I definitely understand what you mean when you frame it like that, because I agree. All right, let me keep going. I'm gonna go down here next to Miss Kalandra. Go ahead, sis.
Wanted to make one last quick point. Drew F. Wallow is male centered, and she's just like the women I said today. She's male centered, and so therefore she thinks that man, she girl that she had on that podcast that said that something about womanhood, that gave her all she needed. She's male centered and triggered it, just like you said about PBW. a lot of these women that claim, oh my God, I hate men. Men are just, all men are bad. They all should start in prison. Those women be the biggest male-centered women ever. And that's why Drew F. Follow did that, because she knows that T women are a protected class. So therefore, no one is going to try to say something about her male-centered. She's male-centered. And that's not for me. I blocked her and blocked anybody who defended her.
You know, I just think it's crazy that I had unblocked her and went back to her page and saw that she had doubled down on everything that she had said. And it really irritated me. And it irritated me because trans women are not the ones who built her platform. Women are. And the fact that she is willing to turn her back on women, I just really wish that everybody will unfollow her. I never followed her in the first place. I remember back when she started blowing up and I would see some of her content on TikTok. No disrespect, I just thought she was insufferable. I thought she was annoying, and I thought she was unattractive. And I thought a lot of it was rooted in the fact that she was ugly. And I'm sorry, I said it. I'm not going to apologize for it because that's what I thought. And I know who am I to judge somebody on their looks, and I know that looks and beauty is subjective, but I'm just saying that's what I thought when I saw her. I thought that she was ugly, and I thought that she was doing all of this because she was ugly and men wasn't giving her no play. And I felt like she would calm it down when she found some dude willing to stomach her. And that's exactly what's going on. And that's just how I feel about it. And I think a lot of women do that stuff. She's not the only one. A lot of women do this, and I find it to be disgusting because if you are what's the word I'm looking for? If you are on the side of women, you should be on the side of women regardless on whether men trying to talk to you or not, whether you got a man or not, whether you this, that, you should always be on the side of women if you're truly on the side of women. If you are a conditional supporter of women being a woman, I'm scared of you. I'm actually terrified of you. You crazy. You a turncoat. You like the people that Harriet Tubman would have had the boom boom because they trying to tell Massa about the plans. I just can't respect you, and I don't respect her at all. And anybody that defended her, I definitely blocked them as well. No, I think she is Hawaiian. She's Hawaiian, Kamisha. Cause I had to look her up. She's Hawaiian. No. Sorry, not Samoan. She's Samoan. What was you about to say, Kalandra?
I just wanted you. I don't follow her, even I never did. But did you see her how she went out and called women bots? How she started going in her comments and calling them bots, and that long apology because this girl I follow named Micah, she kept responding to Drew, and she started calling women bots, and then started calling T women real women.
Ridiculous. Because I wonder if that applies to her. Seeing as though she built like a bag of soggy clothes. Does that apply to you too, sister, or no? But nonetheless, I don't even want to get catty because I have an axe to grind up with that Drew person. I really don't like her, and I really do feel like her rhetoric is extremely dangerous, and it erases biological women. It causes so much destruction and also so much abuse to come to women. It makes me sick to my stomach. So I don't even have nothing nice to say about her. So I'm about to stop talking about her because it's so many insults that come to mind, and I still don't want to put her down like that, even though she deserves it. All right, let me go down here to Brown Sugar. Go ahead, Brown Sugar.
Yeah, I wanted to say this was a really good live, and to end it on a good note, I really want Black women to know that they can achieve anything that they're set their mind to, even if you feel like the world is on your shoulders, people have turned their backs. Just keep going and keep believing in yourself. When the door is shut on you, there's going to be another door. All you need is that one yes, whatever dream that you're trying to achieve. Never give up on yourself. Never think that any obstacle is too big for you to conquer and get over. Get into hobbies, loving yourself, whether it's spirituality, religion, whatever. Hone in on your faith if that's what you believe, or if not, hone into yourself. Never believe in these men, never trust these men. These men, at the end of the day, majority of them don't give a F about you. So what you got to do is care about yourself more than anybody. If you got kids, of course, care about them too, but just pour into yourself. Go get your hair done, go get your nails done, whether it's wigs, weaves, tracks. You want to get a pixie cut, you want to wear your hair natural, whatever you want to do. You want to get braids, you want to get locks. Pour into yourself, love yourself, take care of your mind, body, and spirit. We got to block these haters out because they're going to come. And when you have haters, just know that you're doing something right. And they mad that they don't have the sauce. They don't have the graciousness that we were born within us. And every Black woman has that special touch that these unseasoned people, they can't possess what we have. And I want more Black women to understand that and know that there are greatness, and just to keep going, because I know it was some days where I just wanted to cry. I wanted to give up. And I just want Black women to know, like, please never give up on yourself. Never give up on the things that you want out of this life. It may not come today, tomorrow. It may not even come in a year, but it will come if you keep progressing and keep being focused and pursuing things that you love and things that make you happy. And to also block out all negativity. Don't allow anyone that's negative in your space. They have to go. Make sure you have high boundaries, high standards for anybody, whether it's relationships, friendships, or even with your family, because they can put you down too. I don't have all the answers. I've been on this earth 26 years, but one thing that I've learned, and definitely watching Trig, is just like keep your head up high. Don't care about what people say. Love yourself, most importantly. I hope that's what I'm saying from this message. Just love yourself. Love everything that comes with you, the good, bad, the ugly, and keep showing up for yourself every single day, and look in the mirror and tell yourself how wonderful you are, how beautiful you are, and just a proud of yourself that you are, even if it's a regular day. As Black women, we've overcome so much. Tell yourself, I'm proud of you for just getting up today. So thank you, Trig, for this wonderful live.
No problem, sis. I just wanted to say I appreciate all of you lovely ladies. Appreciate all of the ladies that came in the box and y'all gave out your thoughts and opinions and feelings. And I just want to say I respect all of you. Even the lady that dropped, I think her name was TC, when we were talking about man, my mind just drew a blank. What was we talking about? Oh yeah, like the men, like, you know, like Black women, like the world doesn't really, well, she didn't think that the world really hates Black women. And then, like, she had mentioned the thing about getting hit, you know what I'm saying, by like a boy hitting you and liking you and stuff. I was interested in hearing her perspective because, you know, I don't want this to become an echo chamber or anything. So I just want to say that, like, differing thought processes and ideologies are welcome. As long as you're a Black woman, then we can talk about it or whatever. Either I'll agree or either I'll disagree, or maybe I'll agree with some and disagree with some parts of it, but it doesn't matter. We are just, as long as we can all come together and have these conversations and, you know, have them cordially, and then, you know, come together at the end of the day. That's all I want, is just for us as Black women to have a space where we can be free and talk about the things that are on our mind. Cause like, we're all individuals with our own thought processes and different upbringing. So we're not going to agree on everything 100%. Everybody is going to have certain things they agree with, certain things they don't, and different. And that's fine. Like, I don't mind, us, you know, us all having these different thought processes. So just wanted to say that I appreciate everybody that came up here. I also appreciate all of the beautiful, lovely ladies in the chat as well. You know what I'm saying, that maybe not can't come up or whatever, but we're able to talk in the chat. Appreciate you too, Gabrielle, for being in here as well. I know you said you couldn't come up, but still appreciate you. I like doing deals. You just put is that a wiener you put in there? What would be wrong with people? Like, who took the time to make a wiener like that? Like, sir. Anyway, like, what's wrong with people? Anyway, I appreciate all of you ladies in the chat as well. Appreciate all of y'all, and hope you guys have a great rest of y'all evening. All right, I'm about to chill, probably watch me some TV, bother my kids, and I think my husband's in his man cave, so I might go up there and bother him too. I go upstairs because I'm downstairs right now, but yeah, so I see y'all. I'm so glad I got a chance to talk to y'all. Do y'all like these late lives? Because if y'all do, I'll try to do this more often. But sometimes there don't be nobody on. I'll try to come on, there don't be nobody there. So I'll be like, oh, okay, well, ain't nobody be there to talk to. So, but if y'all said y'all do, okay. All right, I'm gonna try to do some more late lives. Wait a minute. Angry black woman, you in the box? It said that you tried to request, but maybe she gone. Okay. I just didn't want to leave off with her being in the box waiting. All right, y'all. See y'all later. Love y'all.